What's up, everyone? It's fucking Frank here, and today I want to bring some good news for once. Oh, I normally don't actually talk about news, but this was so worth it because Sony, like a week or two ago, decided that fuck the PS3 and PS Vita digital stores. What that basically means is that all the games on there was supposed to be gone. That kind of says itself, doesn't it? Um, they did say, however, that you were supposed to be able to download your old games again, which I do not understand how, because the downloads themselves are linked to the PS Store on both those systems, actually. So it's not like the PS4 or PS5 where you have a library and you can just push download, but you had to access the stores in order for it to access the download list. But whatever. Basically, they said it was because of commerce support challenges for older devices and the ability for us to focus more of our resources on newer devices where a majority of our gamers are playing on. Absolutely. That's good. I mean, more power to the new hardware. The thing is, you're not doing jack shit with this. You're not like putting a lot of resources on the store. Jesus Christ, you're barely doing anything. You have like a skeleton crew of maybe one guy sitting in his fucking closet and being like, I want to come out to the rest of the crew. That was just for comedic purposes, but Jesus Christ, man, like if you supply digital games, then you can't just, and the PS3, sure, it's old, but it's not like super old, and they're just like, nah, you can't have this anymore. And me, who likes retro gaming, I do count the PS3 and Xbox 360 to retro nowadays because it's not new anymore. Let's be real, it's really not. And basically, that's one of the reasons why the Series X is so appealing. Because guess what? You can fucking play old games enhanced, which I don't understand why Sony is so reluctant on fixing for the PS5 or hell even the PS4. I mean, you have been able to emulate the PS1 and PS2 for like 10 years now, since the PS3 was new. And the PS3, I might add, can actually play PS1 games. What? You have to have the disc, sure, but then why did you cut that feature for PS4 and PS5? There is no reason. Like, technically, it is very much possible. I just don't think that they want to put the resources down to do it. And since they basically already had a lot of the job, like the work done, why not? But that's beside the point. Anyway, it was a huge backlash all over Twitter, all over YouTube, basically all social media channels you can imagine, because people were rightfully pissed. Because game preservation is a thing that a lot of us are for. Because games, you might not think so, but games nowadays are kind of a form of art. Like, it's the biggest art form in the world. Movies have fallen behind. Like, music has fallen behind. Like, there is just so much like money, so much artists, so much everything. So seeing Sony saying like, nah, fuck y'all, you can't buy this anymore, like that's not nice. Like, imagine this, like if I go to the PS3 store right now, the PS3 store, I'm gonna remind you, the PS3, not the PS4, you can find games like Suikoden 1 and 2, €5 a piece. That's a fucking steal. Most of the Final Fantasy games are on there too. And guess what? If you want the disc version of it, except the 7th, because it's like 1,000,000 copies in circulation, it's fucking expensive. It costs so much money, like holy fuck. But anyway, they backpedaled on the decision. They were like, no, basically, they said, we're not shutting it down. And the reason was, and I quote, it was fans being passionate about being able to continue purchasing classic games on the PS3 and PS Vita who convinced them. What that means is they saw an opportunity to make a shitload of money. And I don't fault them. Because I'm gonna fucking spend money on that store in the coming months. I can guarantee you fucking that. Holy shit. I'm gonna buy all the classics of there. No joke. Like, I have some nowadays. Like, I have Siphon Filter, you might not agree. But I consider that classic. I have things like Pandemonium, I have Twisted Metal, you know, just a lot of stuff. I have God Hand for the PS2. Holy fuck, that's... I so recommend you just at least look it up on YouTube. It's such a unique game. I really enjoy it, and I would say it's something that everyone should try at least once. The weirdest thing ever, it's like a beat 'em up with Resident Evil tank controls. But somehow it still feels good to play. So yeah, that's a thing. But yeah, so what I see this as is that we might actually be able to get some backwards compatibility from Sony. I just feel that Sony have been looking a bit at Xbox. They saw the backlash here when they tried to just cut the support. And I just get this feeling that we might actually finally see some backwards compatibility from Sony. Please do that, Sony. Oh my god, the demand for the PS5 will be through the roof. Imagine if you could play not only PS4 games, but PS1 and PS2 and PS3 and PS4. Holy fuck, I would... They release a version that costing $1,000, and only that version can emulate games, I'm fucking buying it. Just like that. Not even kidding. And while you're at it, why not just throw some Vita games on there too? I mean, the Vita was an underappreciated console, but there are games on there that is actually like nice. And you do have a touchpad on the controllers nowadays, Sony, so it would be perfectly playable. And that way, like Killzone Mercenary, not the best game, but it was super fun. The old Gravity Rush, not the remastered version. I do recommend you play that though. That's a masterpiece. So underrated, sometimes a bit hard to come by, but give it a shot. But yeah, there are games that are really nice to play, and like a PSP maybe. Some upscaling to maybe not 4K because that's gonna look like garbage, but maybe the 1440p. Maybe that's a good balance, like 2K, or hell, even 1080p. I would be very, very happy with that, actually. But yeah, I'm just going off on a rant here. I'm really speculating, and something which does actually bother me is that this is one of the companies who have been very opposed to emulation outside of well, their own consoles, which is weird, because if I own the game, if I own a physical copy of it, why shouldn't I be able to emulate a virtual console to play my game that I bought? And furthermore, why the fuck would you want to try to shut down the only way of playing those games if you don't want people to emulate your games? It's just such a simple concept. How did you get this wrong? How? Like, someone had to have a brain fart that's only like like a massive one. And it's just, and you know what bothers me the most, actually? The PS Vita, if you didn't know it, can actually play PS1 games. Not all of them, but some of them. So you can actually have an emulator console that is portable and can play classic PS1 games. But you wanted to shut down that store. Like, oh, this boggles my mind on so many levels. No, I I should really stop ranting. I could do this for hours. Like, just speculating at what level of fucking stupidity that this happened. But yeah, of course, the people at Sony, they want to make good stuff. I hope, at least. I want to believe that. I really do. But some decisions are just mind-blowingly off. And I do want to give Sony credit for actually going back on this decision. I feel that this was a step in the right direction. I really hope that Sony will take more of an initiative going forward in order to preserve games. One of the things they could do is patch the goddamn CMOS trap out of the PS3 and PS4. Thank you, Sony. That's why you haven't patched this already is absolutely fucking stupid. That's the most obvious thing I've ever seen of someone trying to make their products obsolete. And you know what the worst part is? I have like, I think over 1,000 games on the PS4. And I have like 150 on the PS3. And I keep buying new games. And you want to not only make my consoles, which I pay hundreds of dollars for, or euros, depending on your country, you want those to be obsolete, so I'll buy new ones when I will just buy the new ones anyway. How did you think there? And even if you are going to make your consoles obsolete, then why the fuck not make a backwards compatible console? I don't get it. What's the issue? It shouldn't be hard. Like, Jesus, we have hobby people who have programmed a functioning PS3 emulator. It's not fully functioning. Like, you can do certain stuff. You can play some games, scale them up to 4K, stuff like that. Red Dead Redemption in 4K, Xbox One or that emulator looks absolutely amazing just due to that. And man, it just, why? Why not just embrace that people actually still play old games? People still buy old games. Hell, I saw like a couple of weeks ago, I can't remember how many weeks, but Microsoft had Blue Dragon, an old JRPG from the Xbox 360, like one of the first. I never got the chance to play it. I don't know if it's good yet. I haven't had time, but I'm soon gonna give it a shot. And I just bought it. It was on discount. Like, what was it? €7. I was like, hey, yeah, why the hell not? It's €7. I got that. I can skip a meal at the restaurant. Like, just embrace it, Sony. It's a bit frustrating seeing you like this because you have some of the best exclusives. At least for this will sound bad, but for adults, and with that I don't mean that the other games can't be appreciated by adults like Mario and so. I meant like, for example, Metal Gear Solid is a bit harder for a kid to understand, you know, than Mario. So yeah, it's just for someone that likes retro gaming, this made me happy. Really good news. So even though the decision making at first, it was frustrating, but I'm happy with the decisions they made. So yeah. With that being said, thank you for watching and have a nice evening. Bye.